Hello and welcome. You have tuned into Market Fatafat on ET now. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me is Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, over the next course of 60 minutes, we will be taking you all the top stocks that are buzzing either on the back of the news flow or on the back of the technicals. We will connect with our team of researchers as well as our technical expert as well. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So Cheryl, the time we connected back in buy now, sell now, the markets were not looking that excited. But look at the move on Bank Nifty especially, gaining almost 400 points now.
Absolutely, a very smart recovery coming in the markets, Shrishti. If you look at Nifty Bank at the day's highest point, let's look at broader markets because that was a sore point when the markets opened up for trade. And right now, as you can see, smart recovery coming in for the mid-cap index. So is the small-cap index also seeing a very smart recovery from the day's lowest point. In fact, small-cap index actually broke into the positive territory, approximately 2% uptick from the day's lowest point, or excess of 1% at least from the day's lowest point coming in for small cap index as well as the mid cap index. Let's take a look at what the PSU counters are doing because they were the ones that were actually bearing most of the brunt in yesterday's trading session. Today we have the PSU bank that is at the day's highest point. Let's take a look at what BHEL is doing, what Bharat Electronics is doing. For the matter of fact, let's take a look at PFC, REC as well because all of them have seen a smart recovery from the day's lowest point, all of them in the positive territory right now. Remember, on an intraday basis, they did actually dip into the negative territory. There you go, some sort of weakness creeping in for PFC, REC at this point in time. Take a look at also some of the railway counters because they also were under pressure from the word go, but some of them have managed to see some sort of a recovery with the rest of the markets. And like I said, 1% uptick from the day's lowest point coming in for Nifty Bank, so the broader market seeing good recovery. So yes, 2 hours of trading session left, Shrishti, but we need to wait and watch out and see exactly how the markets are also going to pan out going ahead.
Okay, we'll watch out for that because today is Bank Nifty expiry as well. So let's see how the volatility plays in on that front. But with this, let's kickstart and let me welcome on board two of our researchers. We are being joined by Ankita as well as Ashesha onto the research side and also onto the technical front. We are being joined by Sumeet. Very good afternoon to all three of you and thank you so much for joining Sumeet especially. And with this, Cheryl, let's kickstart taking the queries then. Let's kickstart taking the stocks that are in focus then.
Absolutely, Shrishti. Looks like a slip of the tongue or rather muscle memory given the fact that we anchor buy now, sell now together. But let's take a look at the stocks that are buzzing in trade and now take stock queries right now. And let's talk about Ajanta Pharma because this one was among the top gainers when it comes to the pharma stocks. 10% uptick is what Ajanta Pharma recorded on an intraday basis, hitting a record high level. And why is that sort of a performance coming in from Ajanta Pharma is the fact that the company has outperformed industry peers in India sales growth in the month of August. The company's sales in the month of August grew approximately 11.6% on a year-on-year basis. This as compared to 5.8% on a year-on-year growth for the broader Indian pharmaceutical market. This is what came out in the data. Also remember, Ajanta Pharma's outperformance was led by pain management, dermatology therapies as well among the other drugs. So on back of that, you can see Ajanta Pharma soaring in trade, still holding on to strong gains, about 6% as we speak.
Okay, moving on to the next counter in focus and that is NTPC because based on the achievement of the approved norms and due approvals, Unit 1 of 800 megawatt capacity of Stage 1 of Telangana, wherein super thermal power project company has successfully completed the trial and the operations and consequently included in the installed capacity of NTPC Limited. And with this, the installed capacity of the company and the group has become 57,838 megawatt and 73,824 megawatt respectively. So that's the addition on to the overall capacity of NTPC and that's why we are seeing the stock holding itself in the green with the gains of 0.6%.
Alright, that's NTPC that is in focus in today's trading session, but let's also talk about the latest that is there in the IPO market. We have RR Kabel, which has actually is all set for an IPO. In fact, the IPO is open for subscription today. It will be open right up till September 15 and the issue size is approximately 1,960 crore rupees with a fresh issue of approximately 180 crore rupees while the OFS will be approximately 1,780 crore rupees. Let's actually bring on board the management at RR Kabel. We have Mr. Sri Gopal Kabra, who is the Director, and Mr. Rajesh Jain, who is the Chief Financial Officer at RR Kabul, to talk about the IPO and as well as where the company is headed from here on. A very good afternoon to you, sir, both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And firstly, congratulations, you all are actually coming to hit the D Street with an IPO. Yeah. It's open for subscription today. To understand, what will be the IPO proceeds used for?
So we have fresh IPO of 180 crore, out of which 136 crore will be used to repay our working capital and term loan, and rest will be for general corporate purpose.
Okay, thank you so much for that understanding, but we will talk about the financials. But firstly, just wanted to know that if we look at some of your peers, then how do you see the industry growing? Because you have a significant presence in wires and cables and you have been doing well. Your revenue has seen a growth of 31% on a year-on basis if we see in the past 3 years. So how do you see the industry growth in which you are currently present in, and as well as this 31% growth, how much do you believe that will be sustainable in the times ahead?
See, first of all, the growth in this sector is going to be there for many, many years now, because we need to understand this growth generally people feel is because of either real estate, or people feel because of infra. A lot of infra projects are coming, but the entire shift which is happening from green to fossil fuel, and a lot of new sector has come in the market, like for data center. If you ask me 5 years before, there was nobody was talking about data center. Now in data center, $100 million investment is coming. The logistic park, which was not part of India's growth story, but now a lot of logistic park coming after the GST. People want to have a bigger and bigger warehouse, the small warehouse going back. And I see again, then after when all the highway, what Bharatmala and Sagarmala complete, again there will boom into logistic park. So a lot of things are changing, like all the old malls, which were 1 lakh foot or 2 lakh square feet. People don't want to go there now. People want to go to a mall. It has to be 1.2 million square feet or 1.4 million square feet. So this, they will close, the new will come. So redevelopment, renovation, and then for wire and cable, especially category, wire category. So we believe that 40% is just going for real estate and 60% goes for the renovation. So like if you, restaurants, their life is now 5 years, 4 years, the new restaurants are coming. People are changing houses nowadays quite often. The companies, when they grow, some people close the office, people go to co-working space. When co-working they grow, then again they have their own office. So this kind of changes is there in demand. So demand will be there for 15, 20 years. There will be going to be huge demand. Yeah.
All right, huge demand is what you're envisaging going ahead. But let's actually talk also about your margins. If you look at your raw material, or rather your margins, they were definitely impacted by raw material and the volatility in the raw material prices. Has that volatility now reduced, and also what sort of a sustainable level of margins can you expect going ahead for your company?
So before that, if we see our current margins, see there are two things. One, we had invested very heavily in expanding our retail network, our electrician network. Like as of today, we have almost 3 lakh registered electricians with us. We have more than 1 lakh and retail counters. So we have invested a bit heavy. If you see our advertising and sales promotion expenses, it is double of the industry average. So in that sense, last year we also acquired one FMEG company. So we had some impact on our profitability. But when we see in longer horizon, we have done very well in previous, and we are growing at very fast speed.
Okay, my another question was just related to that FMCG business. Good that you touched upon that. Firstly, I wanted to understand your revenue contribution, because if I see the bifurcation between B2B and B2C, so you have higher contribution from B2C segment, which is a bit different what we are seeing in the other peers. So going ahead, do you believe that there could be some change in your product mix? And also, since you just touched upon the FMEG business, so that's still under pressure, posting some losses. Do you believe that there could be a turnaround in the times ahead?
So we started our journey from wire itself. If you see, that's why our highest B2C share is 74% comes from B2C segment. And even if at top line we see our 88% of revenue comes from wire and cable, and 12% comes from FMEG, where we are just recently started. And if we see from growth point of view, like we have grown by almost 45% CAGR in last 2 years, or 30% in last 3 years. So majority of our sales right now, it is coming from wire, then cable and FMEG.
Right, and let's talk about the export market because your company is one of the leading exporters by value when it comes to the wire as well as cables from India. Approximately 9% of India exports is what you all contributed to in calendar year 2022. Where is the export market headed for your company? How much of a contribution do you think that it will give to your overall revenue going ahead?
See, first of all, we became the first wire company to export way back in 2001. And we are the only company which got 35 international approval. So only wire cable. So only this one. How many companies in other sectors also got a 35 international approval? So our focus was to make a quality, create a brand, and we have created a brand worldwide. Not only it's like we have got our export is also B2C. Our 92% export is to go develop country where the quality is controls are very strict, and we create our own brand there. So our major export is to Europe, UK, Middle East, then Australia, New Zealand, America, and all the developed world we have.
Okay, but gentlemen, if I have to talk about your key growth triggers, so since you are bullish on the industry prospects, since you are positive on the exports path, so going ahead, maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, which will be the growth drivers of the company which can perform relatively better, and as well as any expansion plans that the company is looking forward to?
In terms of expansion, we have a 500 crore capex is already planned, which is ongoing. So this year and next year we will be doing 500. So now focusing now, we need to understand our like wire and cable, our is 70% wire, 30% cable, and industry is the other way around. So 30% and 70%. So naturally the growth will come into all the sectors. So in which sector we are little low, the growth percentage may be more.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are very bullish to grow in each and every sector, and then now, so for example, now India market. So we are very strong in like 12 markets. So we have got 12 states are winning states. For winning state means where our market share is 9% above. So in India market, the rest of the India is spending. Like if you look into exports market, so we are very strong in few markets. So we will add many more markets. So the demand is there everywhere. It's a question is that we cannot go and reach at each place immediately. So it's by phases. So like when we started, because it's a very young company, so we are the youngest company among the peers today. Like it's just 23 years old company, and in 23 years to have a 1 lakh retailers, 3 lakh electricians in the fold, exports to 63 countries, and presence in 12 states to be a winning state. All this achievement we did it so because we want to grow fast, and entire focus of company is on the quality. So like we are the only company in India with 100% REACH compliance and RHS compliance. Though it's not mandatory, but we believe we want to save the environment. We want to make a safety, so we became the low smoke zero halogen wire company to make first company way back in 1999. So people, we need to understand. I request also media in so many occasions that don't write this much people died in fire. People die because smoke. Occasion is fire. Whether it's a Kamla Mill restaurant fire you talk, whether it's Opar Theatre, Delhi we talk, or Amri Hospital, Surat coaching classes, all. So we are a company. So now many countries like in Ireland, they have mandatory, they stop using PVC wire or cable also. It is low smoke zero halogen. So in Sweden they are doing it. We are hoping that India will also do very soon. Now the new NBC, NEC rules there, because still we need to focus on safety. So as a company, we believe that we should focus on safety, quality. This is a long term, because the journey, what is journey in business, any business? This sector, I am talking about any sector. This was primarily original was unorganized sector when we came into this business 23 years before. Unorganized to organize, organized to brand. And here journey is not stopping. Now real journey will start for everyone, from brand to trusted brand. For trusted, to create a brand to trusted brand. See, if every get money, he can spend 100 crores, 200 crores on TV and create a brand. And we've seen the company who spend money, the companies are no more there. But then focus from brand to trusted brand journey. So both that you have to be very honest, very ethical and quality conscious. So
and
we
for
as
that brand development, you guys have been investing a lot on the ad spend as well. So given the aggressive spend, or rather given the huge spend that you are doing in the advertisement, so is that expected to continue, or there could be some pull of hands in that front?
see, naturally in terms of percentage, it has to come down naturally. Because the volume is grow.
But the
in
quantum
absolute
is
terms, it will be
expected
there, right? But then why we need to make so much advertisement and brand building clearly, I'm telling you, because we talk truth. So if you look into our ad, you see in many companies like this, wire, they don't catch fire, and that's why we have to come out with Akshay Kumar. Was there is no wire? ऐसा कोई wire है इसमें आग नहीं लगती है, धुआं नहीं होता है. So we believe to miss the fight is between the unorganized market, quality, non-quality, so a lot of challenges, but we need to appreciate that we as a company, why the product is behind the wall. For as a consumer, I want to ask three anchor, both of you. Do you know that which wire in your house? You'll say no, no idea, right?
Yeah.
So it's a low interest category product, behind the wall product, and from that you want to create the bill. So it's like we created from moon to the moon.
Right.
So this is the story.
All right. But I must say all the best to both of you gentlemen on your journey that you all have started for the D Street, and also all the best to become one of the trusted brands in India. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
on
you.
the show, and all the best for your IPO as well as going ahead for the listing. So that's the management of RR Kabel talking about the journey of the company, as well as talking about the export growth, the revenue growth, the margins, as well as where they see the expansion going ahead for their company. So definitely an IPO to watch out for. September 15th is when the IPO closes. But on that note, actually, let's continue and let's talk about the stocks that continue to buzz on D Street today. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, you have markets that has actually seen a very, very solid and a very sharp recovery from the day's lowest point, be it the broader markets as well as the benchmark indices. But let's talk about one stock that has also seen a good recovery on an intraday basis, and that definitely has to be Bharti Airtel. Sumit, thank you so much for waiting by. Let's talk about Bharti Airtel, and on the charts, do you think that this recovery is anything to go by? You think that the resistance that this particular counter has been facing off late after crossing the 900 rupees per share mark is now done away with?
Hi, good afternoon to all. So yes, 900 was the level which is has a strong resistance in the month of July, then August. So it was getting the rejection again and again, but formed a strong base around the 850 levels. And today it has given a strong breakout with the type of Marabazu candle. So we think it is a good candidate to accumulate right now for the new highs. We are expecting the target of 990 and 1044 ahead, and one can keep a stop loss of 877 here.
Okay, moving on to the next counter then, and Ankita, coming to you for M&M. This particular stock is in focus. Tell us why is that so?
That's correct, Shrishti. M&M is in focus today, and it is coming on the back of a brokerage note that came out by HSBC, and they are maintaining a buy on the counter, and they've hiked the target price to 1,800 rupees from 1,700 rupees per share. Now, they feel that the growth for M&M is moderating, but the risk-reward looks very attractive, and they also feel that the tractor business has surprised positively, although underlying monsoon trends are not very encouraging. They also see the downside risk to FY25 tractor growth. However, they see the continued traction in the SUV business, and on the back of that, they have maintained a buy, and on the back of that, M&M is going to be in focus today.
All right, Mahindra, second day in a row that is actually seeing some sort of a decline, but definitely a positive note coming in from a brokerage. Ashesha, IOL Chemicals, why is this one in the spotlight today?
Well, yes, some of these pharma counters are in focus today. IOL Chemicals, for instance, is up nearly 17.5% as we speak. Granules on the same news flow is also gaining nearly 4.5%. So reports suggest that pharmaceutical API prices are expected to rise from here on. In fact, prices in the US are expected to rise anywhere between 9 to 23% in the month of September. So on the back of this positive news flow that has come through, report-based news flow, the stocks are surging in trade today. And it is positive for IOL Chemicals because it is one of the world's top pharma API and specialty chemicals manufacturer. So on the back of this news that has come in, both of these counters are buzzing in trade today.
Okay, but sticking to the pharma sector then, and Sumit, on your radar, you have picked up GSK Pharma. Tell us how the chart's looking like for this counter.
Last time we have discussed the stock at the levels of around 1400. So it has given the breakout after November 22. So right now, today also the stock is going upside, and current the scenario of the market yesterday also it didn't fall as per the comparing to others. So still we think it is a good stock to accumulate, and it is going for the new high. So one can expect a target till the 1655 and 1770. And right now one can trail the stop loss till 1390. So good stock to accumulate in the dips also.
All right, good stock to accumulate in dips is what Sumit has to say for GSK Pharma. But let's talk about Goa Carbon, and that particular counter is in the spotlight and also has seen the biggest intraday gain since September 8th, that is just a few days ago. The reason why the company is seeing that a spike in the trading session is because they've gone ahead and resumed the operations at their Goa unit. And post the announcement of that particular development, we saw the stock actually see an upward momentum and continues to hold on to gains of approximately 2.8% as we speak.
Okay, let's shift focus to the logistics space then. And Sumit, Blue Dart is the counter that you have picked up, has also seen good moves in the past 6 months. So tell us, what are the next stops for Blue Dart?
Stock touched the 7,500 levels in the month of July, but afterwards it has seen the good fall. But right now it has made a strong base around the levels of 6,200. And from last 2 days, the buying momentum is going on with the delivery percentage also. So we are expecting a round bottom recovery till the levels of 7,500 here. And ahead of that, 7,850 is the second target which we are expecting. So one can buy at the current market price and
In the green.
All right, moving on and staying with something related to the power space then is Tata Power. Sumit, but I believe we have lost you on that note, so let me come back to you and talk to you about Tata Power in a short while from now. But Ankita, Bajaj Healthcare, why is this one in news today?
That's correct, Cheryl. Bajaj Healthcare is in focus today. It is coming on the back of the fact that this leading manufacturer of APIs and intermediates and formulations has announced the appointment of Dr. Mohammad Javed Mukarram as an advisor in the research and development division, specializing in the active pharmaceutical ingredients or the APIs. Now he holds 45 years of research experience, and his extensive knowledge and expertise makes him a valuable addition to the team. And we can see the movement on the stock on the back of that news. It is up almost 6% in trade today.
Okay, let's shift focus to Tata Power once again. And Sumit, we have you back. So how is the stock looking like onto the technical front? Because yesterday we have seen all these power stocks not doing that well. So do you believe that the journey on the upside will resume for Tata Power?
yes, we think it is a candidate to buy in the dips also, but chart structure is also good here. And we are just waiting for the level of 282 close above, because it will be the highest weekly closing. So yesterday it touched, but today it is a little bit positive, but we are expecting a good run up ahead. So above the 280, we are expecting the levels of 300 and 330 here. So we discussed the same stock at the levels of 230 when the fresh breakout was there, and given the target of 275 as a first target. So here we got the first target, but now 250 will be the levels which we can use for the accumulation. So use the dips and hold for the targets till the 330.
All right, moving on. Ashisha, let's talk about Bata and why is this particular stock in news today?
Well, yes, this is on the back of a brokerage note. Citi, in fact, has come out with a note where they've initiated coverage with a sell rating, and they've given a target price of 1310. The stock currently trades at about 1670 odd levels. So Citi sees significant downside from the current market price as far as Bata is concerned. They say that performance has remained subdued despite several initiatives that the company has taken over the last couple of quarters. Company has lost market share. It has registered 0% volume growth over the last decade. Revenue CAGR is lowest amongst the peers that it has. Citi has below consensus expectations as far as revenue growth for the next couple of years is concerned. Remember, consensus estimates factor in 17% revenue growth CAGR basis over the coming years. Valuations, they believe, are not supportive at this juncture. So on the back of this negative report that has come in, the stock is declining in trade today. Citi has initiated coverage with a sell rating. 1310 rupees is the target that they've given.
Okay, moving on then, and Sumit, another pharma name is on your radar, that is Elkem. Tell us how the chart's looking like for this one.
In the first week of August, the stock has touched the level of 4200. Afterward, it has shown a deep fall, and but from last few days, it has made a strong base around the 3600 levels. So, and as per the OI also, we are seeing the build up here. Today, the candle has made the open low and showing us the good bullish candle here. So we are expecting a little bit recovery till the levels of 3850. So current market price can be bought 3715 for the target of 3850 and 4000. Keep a stop loss of 3600 here.
All right, just a quick detour before we move on and talk about NMDC. Just take a look at what is happening to the PSU banks, because yes, we did speak about the PSU bank index hitting a day's high, actually seeing an uptick of as much as 2%, and now there you go, 3.5% or excess of 3.5% uptick coming in for PSU bank index. I'll request my producer Snehi to show the charts that of a central bank or even UCO bank for the matter of fact. Indian Bank, all of them have seen a smart recovery from the day's lowest point. In fact, Central Bank has seen an uptick of as much as 4% in the last 15 minutes. You have UCO Bank that's seen an uptick of as much as 2.2%. Indian Bank is higher by 2%. So is IOB, Bank of India, PNB, all of them seeing actually smart up move. So yes, a very solid recovery that the markets are registering. And yes, Nifty Bank looks like it's the one that's leading the way ahead. But on that note, we'll actually slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. When we come back, we will talk about other stocks apart from banks.